Maybe this is you, or maybe this is you, or maybe these are both you. Or maybe this is the you that you want to be but haven't started being yet. No matter what kind of creative person you are or want to be, you will definitely be making mistakes along your journey. Hey Pixel Peeps. Today we'll be talking about 5 mistakes that I see many crafters, artists, and creators make. But don't fret, I'll also be talking about actionable solutions that you can implement to avoid these mistakes. I specifically come from a background of Perler Beads, but I've also dabbled in pixel art, a little bit of amigurumi crocheting here and there, and Live2D VTuber rigging. The mistakes I'll be talking about are universal to all of those areas, but I believe they can be applied to any sort of person who works with any type of arts and crafts, including streaming or making YouTube videos such as this one. I've worked really hard in not only acknowledging that I myself have made and continue to make these mistakes, but also have tackled them in order to be a better artist and creator. Let's get started with the first problem creative people make: rushing to completion. A lot of us put artificial deadlines on ourselves, so we rush to put things out there. Post 1 video per week, crochet a whole dinosaur in 2 weeks, cram everything in for a VTuber debut in a month. For the most part, once something is done, it's really hard to go back and adjust or make edits. For example, if I make a YouTube video and post it, it's out there for the world to see. If I make something with Perler Beads and iron it, it's gonna be incredibly difficult to fix certain parts, especially if I overmelt and over iron certain sections. So our solution is pretty straightforward. Take your time and take a break. Wait until you're happy with it. When you feel you're finished, as hard as this might be, take a day away from your finished product and distract yourself. Go touch grass, or call a friend, or cook a meal. Once you feel you've spent some time separated from your work, go back to it with fresh eyes. Now that you're not looking at it 24/7, you might notice some discrepancies or things you can still fix. As a former high school English teacher, this is great advice for your writing as well. I love the quote about rushing game development that's attributed to Shigeru Miyamoto. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Just be careful with deadlines that aren't artificially made by you. If you tend to procrastinate, like myself and many creative folks, work on getting started with your project earlier so you can have that time to separate yourself from your project. After you've looked your project over, make sure that you're happy with it. Which leads us to our next problem: relying on external validation outside of your control. Leaning on external validation too much instead of internal validation can be damaging. Even if you're a professional at your craft, you're going to fail at some point or make something lackluster, and people, friends and strangers alike, might almost be too willing to share criticisms that might not be super constructive. Instead of gauging your success on other people's validation, whether that means likes, comments, subscriptions, or followers, as these are outside of your control, you should rely on internal validation that is in your control. Gauge your success on how you feel about your project. Did you check everything off on your to-do list, or did you slack off on some bits? Did you push yourself to do your best, or did you phone it in during some parts? Did you try something new, or is this the same stuff you always make? Try not to make content or creations because you think other people will like them. Make things that you think you would like if you were the audience or customer. Now, you might be wondering, but Raz, I'm trying to monetize my crafts and projects and sell them to customers as a side hustle. I have to think about what they like. And to some extent, that might be true in that scenario. Depending on the circumstances, your customer or audience might be looking for something that is authentic to your voice or your style, so you should still work on something that you think you'll be proud of. I mean, bonus points if other people are impressed and proud of you too, but make sure that you're the primary motivator here. That being said, you don't have to isolate yourself and do everything alone, which leads us to the next problem: not joining a community. As John Donne's poem writes, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main." In other words, we're all interconnected. By joining like-minded creators and artists, you can share and receive insights and tips on your craft. This is not to be confused with looking for external validation. You might actually go out of your way to ask for constructive criticism from someone who knows what you're focusing on. If we don't connect with others' way of doing things, we might limit ourselves to our own techniques and resources. resources. If we don't branch out and feel connected, you might start to feel isolated and withdraw from your craft. So consider joining a community. Some popular and accessible ways might be joining a subreddit or a Discord server. Reddit has a lot of bloat and trash in the larger default subreddits, but you'll find a whole lot of diamonds in the rough if you look for specific subreddits, especially those that focus on the creative side of things. If you're unfamiliar with Discord servers are sort of like chat groups and message boards. If you're interested, you can join ours. While many of our members create and share their Perler bead creations, we're not limited to just that. Folks post just about anything they're working on in our arts and crafts channel. You might also find folks who share other interests like movies, anime, and video games that you can connect with. You can find the link to join in the description below. If you have a favorite creator or artist, see if they have a Discord server you can join. Just make sure you're checking their rules on posting as they vary for each server, especially if you're not 18 years old. Let's be clear, I am not advocating that you go talk to random strangers on the internet at all. I'm saying go find your people. Look for those that are in the field that you're exploring and at least take a look. If you can build the courage, post. Ask questions, seek feedback. I totally get that this might make you uncomfortable to talk to strangers online and put yourself and your work out there, but this is our next problem, not going out of your comfort zone. Let's say you've been improving and getting better at your craft over a short while. You hone in on the fundamentals and you seem to have mastered the basics. You create and create and create, and well, maybe now you're bored of it. It's become routine and mundane. What used to be exciting is now lackluster, even a chore. You haven't connected with others to see new possibilities and techniques because you are nervous or maybe even anxious to interact with others. While it is difficult, you might need to step out of your comfort zone. You don't have to go all out and talk to 100 strangers. To start, you can join a community and just lurk. That means looking at everyone else's posts but not posting yourself. It's not creepy and most users in fact do this. You might not have the time or energy to initiate conversation, ask questions, or respond to others, and that's completely fine. Even if you're just a lurker, not someone who posts or talks to others, at least seeing others' work can give you inspiration and tips for your own stuff. If you don't want to interact with others but feel like your art is stagnating, try experimenting with your equipment and tools at your disposal. Consider attempting to work in a new medium or with a new style. It could be something small that only you would notice. It could be a huge reimagination of your work. For me, it took me a while to even attempt to try something new with Perler beads, but I started following some tutorials and working on making 3D Perler bead creations, like this 3D creeper from Minecraft, which is awesome. For my pixel art, I tried making a whole sprite sheet for a basic character for a video game. For my YouTube videos, I've tried experimenting with titles, thumbnails, and transitions while trying to keep my voice authentic. Think about what you can do to experiment. Trying something new might be scary, but ask yourself this. What are the possible pros of trying? What are the possible cons? Those nerves and anxiety to do something different is completely normal, and everyone feels that to some extent. Do your best to not let these feelings paralyze you, because this is the biggest mistake I see creative people make. Not starting. We might have many reasons for not starting something new. Some of us might feel like we're going to fail. We might be judged for our amateur work, our flaws, our mistakes. We as humans generally don't like the feeling of sucking at something. It doesn't even have to be starting a new craft, but willing to start a new style or method in your art can fit in this category too. In these times, we must remember Jake from Adventure Time. Dude, sucking at something is the first step towards being sorta good at something. We let our anxiety or fear of rejection paralyze us, so we stay in limbo between wanting to start something and never getting started. We rely on motivation to begin, but for whatever reason, we're never able to scrounge up enough of that motivation to surpass those feelings. So my best advice in this scenario is to start. Yep, that's it. Just do it. Put your feelings on the back burner and just move your body to go through the motions. You might not be able to set those feelings aside, so just start in spite of those feelings. Do it anyway. By relying on motivation to start something, we wait to feel good and then do something. Instead, if we rely on discipline, we can do something and then feel good about it afterwards. But what does this look like? For some people, that means starting to work on your project around the same time every day. For other people, that means finding at least 5 minutes every day to commit to it and marking it on the calendar or a to-do list. Whatever it takes, just start. And you know what? We might be judged for our amateur work. That's okay. Check back on problem number 2. Focus on your growth and positives. Accept that you're going to make mistakes. It's only human nature to make mistakes. If you weren't someone to make mistakes, you would be perfect, and that's just boring, all right? The whole world is imperfect. That's what makes it beautiful. Make those mistakes anyway and learn from them. Get frustrated, take that break, and return to your craft when you're ready. Just start. Even if you don't finish or plan on finishing, that's okay. Just start somewhere, and who knows where you'll end up. After all, the difference between the novice and the master is that the master has failed more times than the novice has tried. So, which problem resonates the most with you? What solution or habit will you try to put in place? Let us know in the comments. It might help other folks who are facing similar problems. If you want to start on an easy project, you can click on my playlist on Perler Bead projects on the left here, or you can craft with me by checking out one of our live streams so it can feel like you're not crafting alone. If you appreciated the video, please share it with someone you think might enjoy it as well. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.